I'm Liz Need. I'm your 100 Days of Business coach, and I want to talk to you a little bit about blog posts today. That's what we're going to be focusing on in this module. It's one of my favorite ways to establish myself as an expert in my community, to my prospects, to my clients. Blog posts, and it's been around for a long time. So there's definitely a technique to making them effective, and we're going to be focusing on that in this module. But first, I want you to understand the benefits. Because when you go through all of these classes, these lessons in the 100-day classroom, it can feel overwhelming. And you think, where do I start? I mean, there's all these things. I could be creating content all the time. Now, at the outset, when you signed up, I told you that you should try each one of these things, but you're going to choose several specific strategies. And those are the strategies that you're going to repeat over and over again to build your list and attract your clients. And I think that if you are on the fence about any of it, choose writing blogs, because for several reasons. So number one, it really establishes you as an expert. If you're writing a 1, 2, 3, here's how you do it for whatever that focused content is, they're going to think that you know what you're talking about. And it's very easy to write well and to structure it well so that they get the idea that there's no difference between you and a Forbes article or a Huffington Post article. There is no reason your quality can be that good. Second, it can create some good momentum for you because it's easy to use a blog post in multiple places. So it could be paired with a promo or a list building video. It can be stuck in a digital magazine or just a standalone on your website. And you can use it multiple times. So I think that if you are short on time and you want to make the most of something, this is a perfect example of an expert content that really can attract clients. It sits out there forever. So if you do something that's really, really good and really helpful, people will find it. It's very similar to a video in that sense. So I wanted to go over kind of what we want to accomplish together. Really, your big picture is that you're trying to create a formula that you can repeat over and over again, something really simple that works for you. So one of the things that you're going to have to decide is what your style is. Do you want it to be kind of narrative, like a story journal kind of thing, or do you want it to be like a 1, 2, 3, where you're telling them 3 things that they need to know, or 3 steps to getting somewhere in your area of expertise? And that's something you have to decide. My personal preference for blogs is to do kind of a stepped approach, a 1, 2, 3, because when people go on the internet, they just want to get whatever they want to get. You tend to read books or read your online book, but when you're going on the internet, you're going there for a reason. So you want to make sure that you choose that and you kind of stick with it for a little while. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out what that title is, because that title and the keywords and the tags are really important. When you're going to think, how do they search for this information? And you're going to make sure that you're planting yourself directly in the center of that lane so that hopefully they can find you. It's also important to kind of think about where you want to put it. So are you going to put it as something that's supplemental to a video? Is it going on your website? Are you thinking about putting it on a LinkedIn blog? Are you going to submit it to maybe some sort of industry platform or a national platform? You'll write the content, and then you're also going to think about the supporting imagery. You want to really make sure this is quick, easy, and it comes alive, as 3-dimensional as we can get it. And we also want to make sure that it's light but deep at the same time. So if somebody wants to just skim it, they can do that. If they want to get a little deeper, they can do that. And so you create those dimensions for your prospect. I promise you, they will appreciate the time that it took, the effort that it took to create something that's well written and full of value. The other thing that I think is really important to know is that there's so much potential for blogs, and I just mentioned it, but the internet is starved for content. So it used to be that you'd have a newspaper and there was only so much room in the newspaper or the magazine. And so it was a different kind of way of submitting writing. But these days, content gets old within seconds. And so if you're able to supply something for a national platform like a Forbes or a Huffington Post, or dig deeper, what are some of the platforms for your industry? If it's done well and it makes sense, you could get published, and you can put that as credentials for the people who are looking for you. It will make you more of an expert. It's good. It builds confidence for you, and it focuses your strategies, your processes, the way you think about what it is that you're presenting. It's really important also to think about how this content is going to support your initiative, because even though I don't really want you to overly sell all the time, I do want you to point yourself in the direction of what you want them to do. So for instance, if you're a health coach, it would be good for you to create a stepped strategy in a blog post that eventually leads them to your solution. Don't make it something that's completely separate. And at the end, you're going to point them back to you. There will be links, instructions, bios, whatever it is at the end of each blog post, so that if they want to know more, they can get it. It's really not that complicated if you structure it up front and you create something that works for you. This could be something that is very core to your strategy. It could be something that you do once a week, or it could be something that you do once a quarter and it goes into your digital magazine, or it's put out there on the internet. What I know is this, that people understand how to read on the internet. They understand how to find the information that they want. Just think, if you were sick, one of the first things that you do is you Google your symptoms. And then you go out there and there's, the top 5 articles, and you just sort of assume that these people that wrote these articles know what they're talking about. Hopefully that they do. Now, why can't you be one of those top 5 or 6 in that search? There's no reason why you can't. And there's no reason why the people who are part of your community can't benefit from your expertise. So I think it's going to be an amazing opportunity for you if you choose to do this. Remember, it doesn't have to take a long time. Honestly, if you're an expert in this, you should be able to write fluently in your area of expertise. I have done quite a few blogs, and this is the good news. I make money writing my blogs. There's also another opportunity for you to make money with advertising if you can pull enough traffic in. So the opportunities are endless. What you need to do right now is re-watch this if you need to, and then dig in and look through all of the information, go through the assignment, complete it, look at the tutorial, and then write your blog. And I would love to be one of the first people to read it. I will give you feedback. Will help you, and then I want you to put your content out into the world, because here's the deal. There is someone right now who's Googling something about content that you could help them with. They have a question in their mind and they need answers, and maybe you're just the person to help them with it. I hope that that's the case. So dig in, get to work, don't be afraid, and put your expert flag out there.